Welcome to Power Rangers Playback. I'm Catherine Sutherland, and this is the beautiful one and only gorgeous little muffin cheeks, Nikki Giovacchini.
Oh, thank you. Such a great introduction. I'm going to take my little flower pen here and introduce my best friend here, Catherine the Sutherland, the little Guys, thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited about our guests, right, Kat?
Yes. It's, these were like a creative force on the set. We spent a lot of time with this department specifically. It was wardrobe, them, and makeup. And they were always so much fun and such a joy to be with. So we are welcoming one half of the duo, Nikki Giovacchini. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. How are you? Yeah.
Good. So you have your imaginary friend Mark sitting next to you.
Yeah,
right?
I should have had a cardboard cutout already ready, and I could have been like, "Hey," or had a thing, and I put my mouth just, "Hey, I'm here. I'm here."
Exactly.
But thank you so much for being here, Nikki.
It's my pleasure. It's totally my pleasure. This has been since I've been seeing you guys after the 30-year thing last year. It's just been a really great thing for me to try to stay relevant in this business. This dream that I started when I was 18, 19 years old is really starting to fade, and filming has been really difficult. And I don't know. I mean, you guys I'm not really sure. I followed your careers a little bit through this and all, but like, everything has changed. The way people have to send in their own tapes now, and they're doing their own editing before they read for a part. And just even in the art department, things are so different now. So I'm still trying to hold on to the dream at 58 years old, and this for me has been a resurgence. Just trying to get back and just realize that my thing is, I've been such great friends with Mark, and you guys are such great friends. And that's like, seeing everybody last year is what really brought it home for me. But that's what Power Rangers did. It made lifelong friends with a lot of different groups. And it's just been awesome. Like, it was like I never left, it was like I never left.
It's a bit family. It's definitely a family, and it was like a training ground for so many people. Like,
absolutely.
Many people went on to do amazing things, including yourself after the show. And
we've been lucky. I mean, everybody's been really lucky with it, and who knew? Like, had I known, I was young. Had I known, I would have stayed on it forever, but my career went in different directions, and it's been a blessing ever since. So, but I would be working with Mark today. If there was a project, we'd be doing it together still. I mean, we work so well together, and it's a bummer that I'm on a different coast now. But we would be working together, just like you guys are working together. We'd be doing something. We've always dreamed of that, doing our own movie. You know what I mean? We always talk about it. But yeah, it's been awesome, and you guys have just been amazing. This whole thing's been amazing.
Nikki, you mentioned this was a dream of yours.
Yeah.
Like, can you tell us what your dream was as a kid? Because some people grow.
Yes, I grew up in Gardena, California, and Gardena was where they shipped, I believe, a lot of the Asian people that were held from World War II. And so, when I was a small kid, I was the only white kid in the neighborhood. Everybody was Japanese, and I was introduced. Like, I would come out there with G.I. Joe, and they'd be like, "Hey, we're not playing with that, man." And they had Mazinga. They had all the Go Ranger toys. They had the cool pencil boxes that did all kinds of cool stuff. They had the smelly erasers that had like different fruit scents and all that stuff. And it was easily reachable. And I was like, well, what is this? And I started watching Japanese TV. It was back way before you guys. We had UHF channels. That was channel 56 and 52. And I used to watch Go Rangers in black and white in Japanese, and I was enthralled. And, years later, 1977, Star Wars came out, right? I went and saw Star Wars every day for the whole summer. My mom dropped me off. I would stay there and watch movies all day. I did it every day. And that's kind of how I got wanting to work in the film. And then, and then years later, here it's full circle. I'm on Power Rangers. I had no idea. And I was like, wait, what? And it just, it was been a dream to work on film forever. That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Wow. So what got you interested in props specifically? Like, how did you go from this dream to getting to work in the art department in props?
Well, I have skilled hands, and building. I came from a very construction oriented family. My dad owned a construction company. I was a professional at the age of 5. I was the youngest of 3 kids, so I was called free labor, and I was out working on my dad's job sites, and I was thrown in. Like, you just had to go to work. There was no staying home and watching cartoons and eating bowls of cereal. I was at work, and I learned a lot of crafts with my hands. I know how to build a lot of stuff, and I owe that to my father. I thought he was being a jerk, but when it came time to somebody saying, "Hey, can you build this?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's nothing." My dad was a genius. And yeah, I mean, that's how I got started. And I've only ever been interested in building and creating the worlds that you guys work in. Like, I messed around with being an actor for a minute. You know what I mean? I did some live TV shows. I did Monster House, Monster Garage. I got my Guinness Book of World Records. So I've had that kind of career background. You didn't know that?
No. What is the Guinness Book of World Records for?
So I did it. There was a TV show that ran a season and a half on Discovery. It was called Big, and they broke world records. So what they did was they picked a gadget. They built the world's largest motorcycle. They built the world's largest popcorn maker, the world's largest guitar. And then they had the guy, Stuart Claxton, who was a famous person as well. He would come out and do the thing and measure it and give him so I built the world's largest Dyson vacuum cleaner that was 19 and a half feet tall. It actually worked. And I got my Guinness Book of World Records for doing that.
Wow.
For Dyson. It was an incredible experience. So that's all I've ever wanted to do was build worlds and create. And I've just been so blessed to be able to do it. It's just been really amazing. And Power Rangers, like you said, it was a learning ground really for a lot of people. And, we basically were in a department and they're like, "Hey, you want to try this?" And you're like, "Yeah." And you were doing it, so no other place and no other show that I've ever been on, and I've been on big shows, is this kind of family. And that's what I really want to take out of this, is just the family orientation of what this brings and what it's brought for everybody. Like, how many years you guys been friends?
30 years.
Yeah.
30 now.
Right?
31 actually. Yeah.
It's amazing, right? I mean, it's really incredible. It's absolutely incredible that's what this did for a lot of us. Yeah. And I've tried to find like where John Countess is. I don't know where he's at. I can't find him. He was our costume, the monster guy with the van.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Ivory and John Countess.
Ivory. I loved Ivory.
That
I used
guy,
to hang out with him.
He's the top of the food chain in wardrobe, I believe.
Really?
He makes the most amazing costumes. I think he's done Superman and just amazing. Yeah. And
I loved him. Ivory was like such a kind, sweet person.
Yeah.
And that doesn't surprise me because he was so easy to work with. I think people probably just loved being around him. But he was always like so humble about what he did. All of you guys were.
And just so good at it. Like he was just natural, and he was thrown into, we would get a shipment from Japan and it would just be, a box of oyster parts, and they're like, "Hey, this is what we need for this week." And, put it together. And Mark too. Mark is a genius. That he underplays himself. He is such a genius. And he's just so freaking good at what he does. He is so good.
Can you
even
tell,
though we worked, go
can
ahead.
you tell the audience what are some of the things that you built for Power Rangers?
I was just going to say my position and Mark's position and Banner. So Mark and Banner worked on first unit together, and I was on second unit. So even though we're on the same show, our jobs were totally different. Mark conceptualized and built everything, and they kept it together for first unit, which mainly worked with you guys. And then it would come out to me, and I would spend my day fixing it because it would get broken by the stuntman. So even though we were on the same, in the same prop department, our jobs were totally different. A lot of our stuff was unscripted. A lot of our stuff was on the fly. Hey, we want to make this do this. And it was like I had, like 5 minutes to get it going. So that's I didn't have to really build a lot of stuff, but I had to create a lot of stuff with what we had. We did a lot of miniatures, and that was to work with Sean McLean. That guy was a freaking genius. And I learned so much from him, and just really, I picked up so much. And when I left the show, even though it was, a non-union kids show, I left with a backpack of skills, and I was able to go on and go on and go on and go on and just use that through my whole career. And so, I really, I really hold it as it made my career so good because I had all that background of working on Power Rangers. That's
just so was Power Rangers your first job?
No.
Oh, okay.
My first,
in the industry.
My first job in the industry was I wanted to be a model.
Oh.
Yeah. So I saw an ad in the paper, and I was in college, and I quit, and I saw this ad that said, models wanted. I was like, man, that's me. I'm going to do it. And I got in my car. I quit school, drove to Hollywood, and I showed up at this office, and I was like, hey, I'm here. And she's like, well, who are you? I'm Nikki, man. What's up? It says models wanted. She's like, oh, you're too short. You'll never work. And I'm like, what? I just quit school.
Oh.
I have nowhere to live. Like, she's like, okay, can you lift furniture? And I'm like, yeah, I can lift furniture. She's like, all right, come back tomorrow, 9:00, and you can start. I'm like, okay. So my first little job in the industry was working at a modeling agency for a wonderful, wild lady named Carolyn Hansen. And she was a Clairol girl in the 60s. And then she had three of the largest, modeling agencies at the time. She had a New York market, she had a Seattle, and she had, I think, a Los Angeles market. But then, of course, when I met her, it was not like that. And and we were doing acting classes on the weekend. It was crazy. It was like such a crazy life. But I started off again with this was a dream. I was in this 8x8 office with everybody's headshots on the wall. And I would get the breakdown, which is a paper that they'd send out with all the descriptions of every commercial, TV show, movie, whatever was going on. They're like, we need 6 tennis players that, are blonde. So I'd have to go through and look through all the pictures and look in the back, read their stuff on the back. Okay, they play tennis. Good. Or I'd have to call and go, hey, man, you play tennis? Oh, I'm a pro tennis player. Okay, good. And I'd put them in a packet. I would take them to all the lots, all the back lots. I'd get to drive on the back lots. I'd go to all the casting offices, and that was magical. That was magical just to walk in and step into these worlds of backstage. And that I don't know, man, that experience, I got goosebumps just thinking about it. That was just so amazing. And I'm like, this is what I need to be doing. This is where I need to be. And from then on, I just honestly, I've lucked out every day since then. It's been one great step after another. And this business, I know this business is crazy for everyone now. The verticals are coming. They're taking over. We fought for more money. They took everything to different countries. Nobody's working. Everyone's struggling. But this business has been so beautiful to me. It's just really been something, and along the way, I've met people like you guys, and I've worked with, honestly, out of all the shows, out of a 70s show and Without a Trace, with all these big actors, I can say that I can talk to you guys or call you or email you and get an answer back within a half a day at your convenience. No other person, no other actor would do that at all. And that to me that's golden, man. To have that opportunity, that's golden. Nobody has that. It's pretty wild.
So let's go back to Power Rangers real quick. I wanted to know, well, it doesn't have to be Power Rangers. What is the most difficult prop or piece that you had to make, either on Power Rangers or any of your other sets? What was the most difficult?
Well, I do have a Power Rangers answer. There's a few. So do you guys remember, like, in the early seasons, there was always a bomb?
Yes.
Always had a bomb, always had a timer.
Yes.
And there was so many different, like, egg timers and kitchen timers and this kind of timer. And that was always very stressful to me, because, we always wanted to do a close-up, and it was, you had to hit the buttons correctly, and then they wanted to see it backwards and forth. Those kind of props were always very frustrating and difficult because, you just can't go back to zero. You know what I mean? It was very difficult to manipulate like an egg timer to make it look like a bomb timer. And that was hard. That was difficult. And then I think we had a season where I want to say Divatox was in the submarine, and anything that had water in it had the periscope coming out of it. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes.
So we had to, Mark and first unit made their rigs, and then second unit, I made our rigs. And it was frustrating. Like, they're like, okay, we want a water jug in the middle of this sports field. Can you make a periscope come out of it? And it was like, dang, that's really hard. Like, with like a straw and some tape, and like you have 5 minutes to do it. Our schedule, we did a lot of days. We did 100 setups a day. And that was a lot, so there wasn't a lot of time like there is with big movies where they're like, they would take a week to shoot one little periscope coming out of a water jug. But we had to do that plus 5 fight scenes, and we were always pressed for time, always like, and second unit didn't have lights. We had shiny boards, if you guys remember that. And we had to go, like, we could only shoot as long as the sun was out. And then there was a lot of times when the sun was down low in the sky and they had to get the shiny boards out just to light Catherine's face or your face just to get the scene. And then it was a wrap. Like, there was not a lot of time. So having those kind of time constraints on doing, making props and making things happen on the fly was very difficult and stressful, because Koichi, Makoto, they didn't understand. And, Chris Auer, they didn't understand. Stuff takes time. And a lot of times, everything looks great on paper. When a writer goes, hey, let's make a periscope come out of a paper cup. Yeah, that looks awesome on a script. But when you have to do it, it's not awesome.
Right. Yeah. So did Mark, did he design the communicators and the morphers? He designed and built those. I wasn't sure if it was him or Yuda.
No, it was, well, again, he went off a drawing. Yuda had the concept. Yes. Mark made it happen. He, our favorite place was downtown LA. We would hit every week. We would go buy toys and whatever we needed for the week. And it was a lot of what we called kit bashing, where you're taking, the electronic lights out of one speaking spell and putting them in a bomb that we had to make it work, So Mark was, Mark really missed out on the credit for making the communicator with the freaking it was like 3 watches, I want to say 2 or 3 watches that he built together and made the communicators. And that was a huge hit. It's an
Apple Watch. Really?
Yeah, right.
It's the first Apple Watch.
Yeah. I mean, so it's so much. Mark he's huge. And I don't know where he's at right now. It's typical Mark though.
He's going to come on the last 10 minutes.
He just said our internet's down. He can go on his phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. God dang it.
Well, we have a ton of pictures that we want to put up. We want to show everybody. Just have you explain what we're looking at.
Okay. I was Star Wars was my biggest. That was my biggest inspiration, one of them. And I got to do the Burger King commercials when Star Wars, I can't remember which Star Wars, but it was Burger King. They took over and I got to shoot with all the characters for Star Wars, which was absolutely insane. That was like, to me, that was like a pinnacle. And they were like, okay, we want you guys to know you're not allowed to take pictures with any of the actors, any of the Star Wars characters. And if you do, you're going to be fired. As you could tell, as soon as they walked away, we were taking pictures with them. But yeah, I actually, when, if anybody is watching us tonight, there's going to be this weekend at the show, I found the whole roll of pictures I took from the commercial. So I got Darth Vader with the Burger King guy. I got a couple of the war, it's really awesome. I looked back and found that, but yeah, I was not supposed to be with R2D2, but I snuck a picture anyway.
So this is that was back in the 90s, right? So that was we had phones. So, and I bring that up because now I've heard of at least 1 to 2 people being fired for doing exactly what you did because we have instant phones that you can post on social media. Back in the 90s, you could take pictures and they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Now it's so taboo. And there's a few studios out here that will let you go instantly if you show pictures of his workings, which I did anyway. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I won't name names, but you can get fired.
All right.
Paulie and Jason.
So this was cool. It's a quick story. I don't know how long we have, but about 8 months ago, I got a Facebook message from Toshi, and I had to think back. I was like, man, Toshi, that sounds familiar. And Toshi was a stuntman that came over from Japan.
He was my stunt double.
Yeah. So he played many characters. And for some reason, we just had the best relationship. We just connected like we were, brothers. And I once he left, I'd never heard from him again. And so I got this message and it said, hey, are you Nikki from Power Rangers? And I was like, are you Toshi from Japan? And, Power Rangers. And he said, yes. And so we started communicating back and forth, and he's back in Japan now. And he sent me this photo and a bunch of other photos. And when I saw you guys at the big reunion thing, the 30-year one last year, whatever, that we had in Atlanta, Paul and Jason were there. And I said, hey, can we recreate this picture? And they did. We did that exact same thing. Yeah. And that was just, oh man, these days were so fun. They were really fun.
Do you know where this was on location that you guys filmed?
I want to say this is out there where we had to go to that farm, and they were driving at that point in time. They were driving the motorcycle with the sidecar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it was out in the middle of the valley at that farm in the valley.
Okay. The one where they shot. We used to do a lot of stuff there. They shot Little House on the Prairie there.
Maybe. Yeah. We did shoot a lot there. We definitely did shoot a lot there. And yeah, that's Spencer, another stuntman who went really far. I haven't spoke to him. I don't know what his career is like now. I heard he was very successful as a stuntman and went a long way. But yeah, he was, Spencer was just another great character, like a guy that fit like a glove, and we all just took each other in and just, we coveted each other's friendship. It was awesome.
Aww.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
That's you. This is the movie, right? This is
You remember that snake, Nikki?
Yes.
You remember that snake? It was half snake. Dead, that snake.
Yeah, that was Mark's snake.
Yeah, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It actually tried to kill me in the forest.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so knowing Mark, he's not online right now because he probably couldn't figure it out. He had his friend bring the snake to set. And of course, when you bring an animal to set, you bring a cage. Not Mark. He put it in the cab of the car, of the truck, of my little prop truck, and with no cage. And I never touched the snakes before. And he's like, yeah, it's friendly. Don't worry about it. And I took it, and it was not happy with me. I pulled it. It was behind the seat of the truck. I pulled it out and put it around my neck because it was really heavy. And we were parked very, very far from the set. And as I was walking back through the jungle, it went around my neck another time and started squeezing, and it almost took me out. And then luckily my partner, Mike, saw that, came and rescued me. So yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Okay, but by the time it got to me, it was flimsy, floppy, and they were trying to make its head sit up. It was literally it was going to sleep.
I think it's staying dead.
Yeah, I think so. Or they killed it and didn't tell me.
Oh man. That is so typical of non-union.
Yeah. I mean, not even an animal wrangler. They had a props person who had no experience with snakes.
Yeah, no,
I
zero.
mean, come on.
And now this was the same day that the lion was there too, right?
The lion, yes, but I didn't see the lion.
No,
but
you
didn't.
didn't.
The lion and the monkeys, yeah.
Yeah, so the lion had come out and they're like, hey, they pulled us in a safety meeting, which was rare. And they're saying, hey, look, we're going to bring the lion out tomorrow. Don't anybody wear cologne or perfume or any kind of scent. Just be natural. Don't look the lion in the eye. And if you don't have to be there, you don't need to be there. Well, of course, everybody had to be there because it was a lion. So I remember the guy brought the lion out on a cat leash that was a 1/4 inch thick. And he's walking this lion that was 5.5 feet tall at the shoulders on a cat leash, or a leash that you would walk a Chihuahua on. And we're seriously? What is that gonna do? He's like, look, if the lion is gonna attack, no chain is gonna hold him back. And I'm like, oh, I guess I see your point there. But that was wild. I was within, I don't know. We had the two small actors, the two tiny actors in the furry costumes that looked like food, and they were scared to death. They're like, oh my God, we have to work with this lion. And the lion was just they look delicious.
Oh my gosh, that's intense.
Yeah, it was. It was scary.
I don't remember a lion. We had a lion in the
it was in the opening scene. The opening
shot,
scene.
it roars and Lerigo kind of stumbles back, and then the monkeys save him. Yeah,
that's exactly the scene. Yeah.
So fun fact real quick. I know we're looking at pictures, but you brought up a lion. So I got a chance to work with a couple projects after Power Rangers. I worked on this series called Born Free, and I played a South African. And there were wild animals on set. We had lions. You could hear the lions roaring in their cage. My scene was with an elephant. I was petrified because I thought, all he has to do is lift his hoof and the key is out. That's a knockout. And so we're supposed to be friends, and he's supposed to he takes his trunk and he hands me a flower because I'm having a sad day. And so I remember doing that scene and they bringing it up, and I'm like, okay, I got to put my acting skills on and try not to be petrified. And he comes up and and I'm talking to him like he's my friend because I'm South African and an elephant is my friend. And he lowers it was such a beautiful, oh my gosh, it was so beautiful.
Oh man, I'd love to see that. I'm gonna have to find that.
Yeah, I have to find it too. I had little twists in my head. So
I remember. That's all coming back to me. I remember that.
That
awesome.
Was a
cool gig. Yeah.
Where was that? Where did you shoot that at?
Santa Barbara. It was like
wow.
in Santa Barbara area. Yeah. And you could hear the lion's roar was just so like,
powerful.
Majestic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very happy to not do a scene with a lion because I probably would have peed my pants.
It was pretty scary. It was pretty scary. You didn't want to move at all. Like everyone stood perfectly still. It was pretty intense. But at least I wasn't in a furry costume.
Yeah.
This is me. This is Mark and I. I had just finished what I thought was going to be the pinnacle of my career. I did the movie Exorcist. And Mark and I had been talking, and I had a bunch of stuff that that came across, and I brought it out to this convention, and Mark's like, yeah, come on out. So of course I showed up to the convention and Mark wasn't there yet. And he's just like, hey, just tell them you're friends with me and they'll let you in. And I was like, are you serious, man? And I had to carry all this stuff in by myself. It was, typical Mark. He was supposed to be at my house at 4 a.m. He missed his plane. I had to wind up driving to North Carolina, always just, it's typical.
Wow.
Mark. This was us just, again, just being buddies, just hanging out. We were working a convention, just having a blast.
So great.
Can you just say The Exorcist real quick? Because I always hear stories about. Were there any weird things that happened on set?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this was the new rendition of. It was called Exorcist Believer, and they shot it out here, and it was a African American actor with a daughter instead of whatever. It was new style. So the actor, I won't say his name because everyone's going to find out who he is anyway, had a mental breakdown during shooting. Totally lost it. They shut us down for a couple of weeks over Christmas with no bonus. I'll just put that in there.
Oh,
that was great. And they brought us back, and they brought a which I've never ever seen before, a spiritual advisor on set. They had like a guru that would come and smudge the set before anyone worked, or before that actor would come.
Like Sage with
Sage.
Sage.
Yeah. It was just strange. So I finished Exorcist, and our warehouse where we house these church pews were in a warehouse, and I'd been working out of that warehouse for the last 4 or 5 years on a show called Dynasty out here, and to my knowledge never had an issue with the warehouse whatsoever. So this new show had taken over the warehouse, and I got a phone call from another guy named Mark Richardson, and I was like, oh, Mark's calling me, let me talk to him. And I picked up the phone. I was like, "Hey, what's up, Mark?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, no, this is Mark from the show." I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Do you know anything about the pews, the church pews that you guys used for The Exorcist?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're over in the corner." And he's like, "Did you guys ever have a snake problem?" And I'm like, "Not in 5 years that I knew." He's like, "Yeah, we went to the pick up the pews, and there was all these copperheads in the all hanging out on the church pews." So a lot of weird things like that happened during this shooting. The actress, I think, was hit by a car and almost died. There was a lot of wild stuff happens. Crazy stuff. But we made it. We made it.
You're
through.
messing with the spiritual realm.
Yeah, absolutely.
God don't play.
So this, these are Mark's finest moments here. They had we never had the alpha on second unit, thank goodness. So Mark and Banner always had to deal with alpha back in the day. I never had to. And of course, that was Mark's, his tail was long hair, hippie looking.
Yep. That's how I remember him.
Yeah. And, he's still, Mark's a rock star. I mean, gosh, the guy's amazing. And, but yeah, I never had to deal with alpha. Thank goodness. He never came to second unit. Again, always clown. Mark and I are such clowns. A lot of the movies that we did after Power Rangers, we would spend half the day hiding in a box to scare somebody down some dark alley, on the set somewhere. And we would just be tucked in, waiting for somebody to come down the hallway so we could jump out and scare them. That's me and Mark to a T. And so, a lot of clowning around. We were, not only was it a serious job, but we really clowned around and had a lot of fun. I mean, we took it serious, but we also had a blast doing it. And I know you guys did too. I know, a lot of you guys were the butt of a lot of jokes and pranks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the prop guy look right there. Black t-shirt, the boots. He actually moved into blue jeans, black t-shirt, blue jeans, and black army boots. That was the prop look for all of us kind of back then. That was the outfit.
That's great.
This is Mark, and we went to Arizona and we did Piranha 3D. We were out in Arizona.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a fun movie. A lot of swimming. A lot of like, hey, I dropped my prop. It blew over there. Can you go get it? And Mark and I would have to swim out there and go get it. So, yeah, and it was 103 at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Where did you go? You said Arizona?
Yeah, it was at Lake Havasu, Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to go out to Cottonwood, which is near there, and it was it's literally like you're in the middle of the desert, so there's just no breeze. It's
no breeze. The water's warm.
Yeah,
you can't even cool off in the water because the water's warm. But yeah, me and Mark have done a lot of films together. That's what's been so amazing is our friendship has lasted as long as 30 years. Just doing films.
That's great.
That's me rocking it on Without a Trace. I was on Without a Trace for about 7 seasons.
Wow.
So
with my fellow countryman Anthony.
Yes.
Giovacchini.
Yeah, man. Yes. That dude is he's a Jesus lizard. He was a really great actor to work with. In my department especially, he was so cool to us. He was great to me, very great to me. He was great to the crew. He took care of everybody on the crew. And that was so cool, man. He really, like Christmas time, he'd write you a check. During the first strike in 2009, I want to say the writer's strike, he made all of the writers pay us since we got shut down. We had checks coming in every week by writers.
Wow.
So, that is a movie that I did with Christian Slater over on the back lot of I don't know. I don't even know the movies anymore, but that was just me, no standing or parking.
Very cool.
I did the pilot to Heroes. Did you guys ever watch that?
Yeah, that was a great show. Milo and Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, this was my set with what was the actress's name?
Hayden
Panettiere. Yeah. So this was my set. I was out there dressing this, And I found, for any of you fans that want to come check them out this week, I found the other pictures of all the train. That was the opening sequence, I think, where the train crashes and she's chained in there. I dressed this whole set with, a crew of guys, but I have all the trains on fire, and I have the scene where, they come up and everything's blocked off by police and stuff. So that was a fun day out there on this one.
Explain to the crowd, when you say dress a set, what that means.
Yeah. So, when we come out to a location, this did not look like this. Obviously, it was just a place in Acton, California that had train tracks. And they bought train cars or rented train cars, and they brought train cars out and they rented a crane, and a director had come out with a production designer, and they imagined this whole train wreck and what a train wreck would look like. And they basically send us out to go get all the things and pieces that you would think are in a train wreck or what's in a train. So we had crates. We dressed it with crates and all kinds of knickknacks all around this whole area. And we made it look like a train wreck. So they bring a crane, they lifted the train off the tracks, tipped over the train cars, and made it and brought all that dirt in. You see all that dirt back there? They filled that in with tractors and everything. And, from an empty train track to a complete train wreck.
And I bet you now they do all of that with CGI.
I would say, yeah. I would say AI is a big part of that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like that would save the production a lot of money.
This is me on the movie called Fracture with that heartthrob that everyone likes who was in The Notebook. What's the guy's name in The Notebook?
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling and one other.
Oh, I love him.
One other amazing actor. I can't think of Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah, so this is the funeral for his wife, and they took 2 fire engines and put the 2 ladders up, and I had to hang a USA flag in between those up. So that's what I was up there hamming it up for myself.
How was that working with those 2 legendary actors?
It was great. I mean, I had a great time. I had a fun time on the show. It was a good time. I got to put together, what's so cool about this is you get to do things that you would never think that you would get to do. So they put me in a warehouse and brought truckloads of airplane parts in, and I had to reconstruct what an airplane would look like after it crashed. So, I mean, it just, you get to do such amazing things on my end and on your guys' end. I create what you guys get to work with.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think it's so amazing how everybody has so many different gifts. Like you get just to see the excitement on your face, Nikki, when you talk about seriously behind the scenes and the gadgets that you made and everything. That's so amazing to me because I mean it doesn't excite me like it excites you because an actor might be a scene where you make somebody cry and you're like, oh my gosh, they just love that so much. But I just think it's so amazing how many talented people there are out there and what you guys do. No movie can be made without the art department.
Absolutely.
You guys create this environment, this scene, this stage, this setting to make it look exactly how it's supposed to look. And it's just kudos to you guys. Absolutely.
It's a blessing to be able to do it too. A lot of times when you're an established, say, set dresser or prop person, right? You get say you're doing a cop room with all the big tank desks. And basically, every cop has his own story. Every actor has his own story, right? And they don't tell you that. So you create that. And you start off with a desk and you put a phone on it and you put a computer monitor and a keyboard and a mouse, right? And then you think, what am I going to give this character? Like this is so basic. What can I do to give him something to play off of? So I come up with like, okay, so maybe this cop likes origami and that's how he relaxes because he's always stressed out about going out and doing these murder cases. But when he's in his office, he works on origami. So I would go and spend, 5 hours making intricate origami pieces and putting them on a desk. And then, I create something that it's not scripted. No one said, hey man, can you go ahead and put origami thing in? But the actor comes in and he's like, whoa, I have something to draw from. And that's awesome when you could, that makes me an active part of what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what, and the only other time I've felt like that is when I was on That 70s Show, because I was the on-set dresser during the show. So we shot in front of a live audience, which barely happens anymore. 3 camera, one of the greatest, besides working on Power Rangers, it was a great experience as an artist myself, because I got to do my job in front of a live audience. And that was, oh my God, that meant so much to me. Even if I was moving a chair, you know what I mean? The audience saw me do it. And that put me on the cast. That was my acting moment. And that's hard to beat. That's hard to beat right there. That was pretty killer.
We had a couple of super chats that came in. Did you see those, Alex?
I did. This first one's coming in from Kamen Rider 64. They said, so I was wondering, have you ever seen other tokusatsu franchises besides Super Sentai, like Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Garo, and the Metal Hero series?
Ultraman was one of my favorites. Absolutely. I worked with I want to say Scott Rogers, stuntman, was the Australian version of Ultraman. I think they did it back in the 90s, and he played the Ultraman, and I think they did it in Australia. This is a long time ago, so it's hard to remember, but I was totally immersed in Japanese culture, because the kids wouldn't play with me if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I had all the toys they had.
This next one's from Sean and Bits. Glad no one was taking out filming Turbo except Malagor, LOL. Let's see.
I almost died. I almost died on Power Rangers.
Yeah, you died. Yeah. I don't know if you guys see
in the middle
anymore.
of the ocean, and I almost drowned in the middle of the ocean on that too.
When?
So, okay. Yeah, on the ship. Okay, so you remember the scene where those pods, they come up out of the water, right? Okay, so being in a low-budget, non-union film, they said, hey, would you guys want to do the diving part? And me and Mike were like, yeah, man, we'll do it. So sure. So we went out, and we didn't have wetsuits. They gave us we had product placement. We had dry suits, and full face masks, not just your like typical ones like that, but they were full. So I guess apparently I've never been back in the ocean since, but they said that the full face masks are harder to breathe in than your normal BC or your normal thing and those, right? So I'm not a good swimmer anyway. And I had the weight belt on, and they drop us off this boat in the middle of the ocean, and the boat, in a minute, like the boat's gone, and they're getting ready to film, and we have these stupid pod things, and they didn't sink, and it was just a real bitch. The only thing that sank was me, and so I started sinking, and I was like, oh, this is scary. So I start swimming, and I'm not going nowhere. I'm just going down further, and I'm looking up. And I'm seeing the top of the water just get farther and farther and farther away. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I have this thing called a BC. So I took the oxygen off, I connected it. And of course, since it was a prop, it leaked. So as I'm filling it up, the bubbles are coming out, and I'm like, I'm going to die. And now I'm like 50 feet under. And I'm like, oh my God. And Mike is, I can't see Mike. Mike's gone. So I remembered I had that weight belt on, and I just took that thing off and I let it go. And I just watched it sink to the darkness. and then I kind of stopped, and then I could swim up to the top, and that's it. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Oh man.
Yeah. I almost died a couple times.
Wow.
I'd have been at the end of the credits, Special thanks.
Special thanks.
Who pulled you out?
The boat finally came and back and got me, but I was like, I'm done. Pull me out. Yeah.
Just trying to get around things. Like that is just,
Yeah.
And it's like
we were just trying to make it happen. It was every day was trying to make it happen.
So many things. We had the scene on the boat. You were probably there that day. It was a scene with a helicopter, like a wide shot. They wouldn't pay for hair and makeup for that shot. So Jason Frank was like, "Oh, okay, you're not going to pay for makeup." So he's like, "Watch this." So every time they come around, he had a tattoo on his arm, like here of a yin yang, and he'd be like, hi everybody. He'd be going like this, and he'd like make sure his hair was like all messy. He's like, make sure you stand like look bad, like look really bad. They still use the shot.
Yeah, of course. I mean, didn't we wind up building the ship inside the stage and we shooting everything anyway? But you remember when we had that monster? I don't remember what the monster was, but it was like slimy. Yeah, it was slimy.
Yeah.
And then no one thought that a wood deck ship with slime on it and ocean water would be slippery. So once the slime got on the monster, it fell onto the dock. No one could walk on the dock anymore on the boat. And we were all slipping and falling all over.
That was the pod monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, the pod monster. Yes. And they had to go get cat litter. So the deck was full of cat litter. I mean, it was okay. So to be honest, they didn't hire some of the best producing power. I'll talk a little crap. They didn't hire the smartest producers on second units and all. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
But yeah, we made it happen though. Like we tried to get through it, That was all we could do. Just get it done.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the final budget was? Wasn't it supposed to be like 9 million and they went to like 25?
9 million? It was nowhere near 9 million.
No, I for some reason that number sticks out in my head.
That's probably the first movie.
The first movie was like 100 million or something.
Yeah, it was way bigger. But I thought we were looking at like 9 million, and then it went to 25 million after we went a little bit longer than we were supposed to, and we had things like that.
Yeah, because they fired the first director, and we had to reshoot everything.
Yeah.
But we didn't see anywhere near 25 million.
No.
We saw 1 million pennies. That's about it.
Look, when I started, I made $75 a day.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, but I got free food.
Wow.
Yeah, I started on the show the second season, and I was making $75 a day, and I'd called everybody, and it's like, I made it! I'm in Hollywood, man. I'm making $75 a day. And I get free
lunch. You couldn't even fill a car up for $75 a day now.
Yeah.
Back then you could do it.
Yeah. I mean, but I think the most I ever made was like $170, $175 a day, even when we were doing the movie. Or maybe 200. I think I made 225. I think that was the highest. But I did like a lot of seasons for $75 a day.
I didn't make that much more than you.
I know. We all got gypped off, man. But they weren't making dolls of me, though.
I just got to say, I made more working at Burger King in high school than you guys did while I was watching the show. I just want to put it out there.
Yeah, we all know. We all know. The sacrifices that everybody made to be on Power Rangers, that was part of it,
Right.
I got one more super chat that came in real quick before we get out of here. Okay. This one's from Ryan Van Story. Hi, everyone. Mark.
Hi, Ryan.
What's a scene that comes to mind that you are so proud to have been instrumental in the visual, like looking back?
I'll answer for Mark. You can say you didn't show up.
I think it's for you. I think they got you guys confused.
Mark has, basically Mark had his hands in any non-Asian any non-Japanese prop that had come over from Japan. Mark made every weapon, like all the bad guys' weapons, all the bombs. Mark made a lot of the gadgetry, any kind of Billy's Blue Ranger gadgets he made. Like Mark was, without Mark, the show would have not done what it did. Honestly, I mean, it had great actors. Okay, you know, you guys all did your thing, but without Mark's talent of being able to take some lunatic's idea and from a piece of paper and turn it into something functional, Mark was the man. Like without him, the show wouldn't be anywhere near what it was. And today you couldn't get away with it. Like, you know, with the quality of things now, people are using, like this weekend at the convention, most people are making their own costumes. They're printing stuff out that we'd have to carve out a freaking soapstone back when we started. And now people are just like, oh, you want a helmet? Okay, there you go. It's going to come up in a couple of days. I'll have it for you, you know. But really, Mark is the pinnacle of prop mastery. I mean, he really, really is. I can't say enough kudos for Mark. That guy, he's amazing. He's absolutely
Yeah, he really, like, I just remember with the communicators, like we had stunt communicators with him. We had like so many different communicators, so many. And then
we gave a lot of them away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
The Morphers.
I have money from the set.
Me too.
Yeah, you should. Well, you should. You know, as you know, everyone. That was kind of the thing. Like that's part of your pay. You know, like
they gave that to us when we left the show. That was like a get out of here, see you later gift.
Yeah. We sort of do the same thing, except we take to compensate. We just go, hey, they're not going to miss this. We'll take it.
I know. We were too honest. I didn't take anything. I kind of look back and think, darn it, I should.
You'd be cashing in.
Yeah.
But you guys had such different roles. Like, you know, you're known for something completely different than what we are known for, you know. So is that geese? Do you have geese in your yard?
Can you hear that? Oh my gosh, sorry. I do have a very loud geese in my backyard right now. Sorry,
amazing. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for making me a part of this. And bringing me, you know, this whole month for me has just been incredible because I feel like I'm really coming alive with everything. I've had like 17,000 views in a month because I've been posting about the show and this, and then also I got picked up by Heroic Talent. Thank you guys for picking me up as a prop guy with their arsenal of other actors. They're going to give me a shot. So it's really
awesome.
Amazing. It's really amazing. And to stand beside you guys this weekend is just going to be so awesome.
It's so fun. Are you coming to PowerMorphicon as well in August?
If you guys can help me. I can't get a hold of I've messaged Zilmer like 40 times and I've got nothing. So I'm trying to, you know, and unfortunately Heroic Talent doesn't have anything with that one either. So, you know, I'm trying. I could go and be with Mark and hang out, but I'm trying to do it this way. I'm trying to legitimately.
Yeah.
Legitimately. I'm trying to like really be an advocate for art department and what we do. Because I believe, you know, we all work together as a to make a movie. You know, we need you need us. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And you know, these fans, I tell you, I don't know, you guys didn't probably see my panels or anything last time, but we had a lot of people.
They love it. The kids love the toys. Yeah, the toys are like what made them love the show was all the gadgets and the toys.
I got people coming to my table asking me what my favorite glue is. I mean, you know, it's amazing. And I get to share that. I get to share that with fans. And I could tell them, hey, this job is reachable for you. You could make your own movies. And especially now with Tubi and all the other platforms, this is a tangible thing. You could make your own movies and you could do what I do and you could do what Catherine does and you could do what Nakia does. It's really tangible. You know, that's what I'm fighting for, man. I want to be relevant at 58. I'll be 60 in 2 years, man.
You are relevant. You are so relevant, Nikki.
Oh, thank you. This has been awesome. I'm going to be high for like 3 days.
Where can you? Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. I need 188 more followers to make it to 500. So I'm Nick, N-I-K of the South. Nick of the South on Instagram.
Follow him, everyone.
I just followed him, so yeah, you should see
I
something
need
from me.
188 more to make money.
Yay.
But I will see you guys this weekend. We're going to have a good time.
Yes.
At the very least.
At the very least. But thank you again. I can't thank you for having me on. And anytime, I would do it in a million times. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Nikki. It was so fun.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Aw, that was so fun.
I love Nikki. Well, don't know what happened to Mark, guys. I'm going to email him and see what happened.
Wi-Fi. He said Wi-Fi issues.
Okay. Well, anything. Oh, I think in our last chat, we talked about Kat and I are bringing back our podcast, Super Chat with Kat and Nikki. It's Super Chat with Kat and Nikki. So we're bringing that back. Our Patreon members will be able to have access to that. So if you're interested in hearing our podcast, it's going to be just a whole bunch of fun stuff. We talk about things that we're not talking about on here. So it will be different. Join our Patreon. It's Power Rangers Playback. It's patreon.com/PowerRangersPlayback. And what else, Kat, before we...
What else? I think you covered everything. I think that's it. We have we'll be doing lives once a month, so we'll let you know who we're going to have on next month. We have a couple of ideas, but please leave comments below if there's anyone you'd like us to have on, anything you'd like us to share. So we always love hearing your opinions and your feedback.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.